Mr. Rogers, how you doing?
What's going on? How you feeling?
Oh, there ain't nothing too much. How you feel today?
I'm alright. I ain't know if I interrupted you watching your games. I know you do your games and stuff. I ain't know. Did I interrupt you?
Yeah, I'm watching the Ravens and see what these bums gonna do today. Every week is unpredictable what they gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you been ready to get in some body work?
Nah, I did some I did my homework, you know what I'm saying, on Aaron Pryor and Alexis Arguello. So I did.
Okay, so you did get a chance to watch some of his footage.
Yeah.
Okay, what I said about him, what do you think?
About who? Which one? Aaron Pryor?
Aaron Pryor.
Yes. Relentless.
He just didn't stop fighting, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the main thing. That was the main thing. It happened when I was 1 year and 8 days away from being 2 years old when that fight took place. So I was
okay.
So I was on Earth, you know what I'm saying? I was on Earth. He had Aaron Pryor, he had a way more higher motor. And Arguello, he was more polished and technically sound with his punches. I think that Aaron, he threw from angles that I call like no-nos in the sport, you know, which you know, contributed to some things that I saw with how Arguello dealt with him. He was said to have said that his opponent might go down for 1, 2, or 3, but when his opponents go down, no, he said I might go down for 1, 2, or 3, but when my opponents go down, they go down for 8, 9, or 10. You know, I thought that was real hard. I said they kept talking about Arguello doing the body work, and I can't help but think, like, watching his style, that Oscar De LaHoya may have picked up some things from Arguello. I gotta go back. I gotta look at some interviews of Oscar and try to see and hear, you know, his perspective, because I saw some of that, and I saw the way, because they kind of stand upright, but their style, they know they know how to pivot, they know how to step back, they're polished, they do that stuff repetitively, and so that I saw that. Aaron Pryor, this man had a nice, good jab when he used it. It was beautiful, because he got to a point where he just was, every time he threw it out there, it was landing on the nose. And that's one of the things that I say, man, if you got a jab like that you just can't miss, you got to just keep throwing it, because it get to the point to where people at the end of the fight, it's like a bug on your windshield. It's like Teddy Atlas always talk about it, put bugs on the windshield. It's like, man, at some point you gonna have to deal with, you know what I'm saying, getting them bugs off the windshield. And when Aaron Pryor, when he committed to doing that, you know, he could land that jab, and it wasn't like a stiff, stifling one. It was just one that you gotta respect that, because he coming behind it and he's so active that, you know, he might be coming off of it. Only a couple more things. I had that let me see. Oh yeah, when he decided to use his lateral movement, you know, he neutralized anything that I was calling him Alexis Arguello.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that the crowd was heavily influenced as well in that fight, because it was a point in time, you know, in the beginning, whenever Alexis Arguello would land anything, the crowd was like, oh. So Aaron Pryor was sitting up there, as vicious and active as he is, relentless as he is, he was landing all that time. But I took that crowd was favoring Arguello. However, he caught Aaron. He caught Arguello with a right hand, and it was a cut involved in that fight as well, because Arguello got cut in the left hand. Now I'm talking about the first one, and I thought it was crazy, because I didn't write it down, but after the ninth I had it 5-4, and Larry Merchant also had it Well, Larry Merchant had it. He ultimately had it 5-4-1 after the 10th. You know what I'm saying? But I take it that Arguello had a beard. And during that fight, Sugar Ray Leonard literally commented, "I'm so happy I retired," because they was asking him about that fight. It was over in the 14th.
He commentated the fight.
Yeah, he was commentating, and it was over in the 14th round. And Aaron Pryor, what I took from it is that he doesn't punch all the time. He was very savvy at knowing when to take his rest, but he's pretty much swinging and coming at you all the time. And it just get a point in time where either you're gonna have to stop him, because Arguello caught him a couple times, you know what I'm saying, a couple nice times, but it was that one time, it was like he stood Arguello up and he recognized, okay, I really hurt him this time, and he had all his energy and his juice, and he just pounced on him. He just wouldn't stop hitting him. He would just bop, 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 like, and the ref was like, do I stop it, do I? And it was just a couple moments where you see AA got stiff like twice and it was over. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, that's why. And they picked him up because boxing wise, had it went, I think they was going to try to rob him. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, I say Arguello had the cleaner, more effective punches. That's because he was a skilled boxer. He was a skilled boxer puncher. You know, Aaron Pryor was just a puncher with a high motor, would just wear you down. He could get you frustrated. Like if he think, oh, okay, you might got some cardio, he can get on his lateral movement and pepper you with the jab. So he was a problem, and I can see why somebody like Sugar Ray, probably at that day and age, I could see why he was like, yeah, it is, you know, that's high risk, very low reward, because this man probably gonna hit me one time and I'm gonna stiffen out, and then he just gonna bop, 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 bop. You know what I'm saying? But it was exciting, man, going back and watching it, you know, and you know, I wasn't biased at all going in, because again, I was 8 days away from being 2 years old around that time, 8 or 9 days away from being 2 years old. So I just wanted to, you know, say I did the homework, you know what I'm saying? I got more to do, but
did you see any of his highlight films though, or did you just watch the Arguello fight?
I just watched the Arguello fight, because I watched it all the way through. It was like I think it was like 54 minutes, you know what I'm saying? So I had to take my notes and make sure I'm, you know, really paying attention, because I had to listen to that commentary and stuff. But you know, I just wanted to get that done. But I'm gonna continue doing it. I'm just gonna keep building my case file on Aaron Pryor, man, because I see glimpses of some people, you know, and I've heard some connections and things like that. But I want to connect the dots. Now I want to go back and look at Oscar. And I want to look at, you know, if Arguello was one of his big influences, or, you know, if he.
I think he probably was.
Yeah.
I think he probably was, because back then Arguello, he was highly regarded as one of the top fighters, you know, during that era, and many people believed that he would be the fighter that would stop Aaron Pryor. Okay. And that's why, even though you could pick up that the crowd was really on his side, you know what I mean? But what happened in that particular fight, the type of fighter that Aaron Pryor was. Now, if you go and look up that little video where it say Aaron Pryor all title fights or whatever, the one that I had mentioned to you, it shows a critique of part of his career and multiple fights, and it's all incorporated into maybe about 40 minutes of just critiquing everything he did, and you will see the relentless assault that he had. That's why when he did fight Alexis Arguello, you knew that this man had the type of stamina. You mentioned it yourself. You notice how when he hit Arguello and he hurt him, you see how he never stopped punching and punching and punching until the referee stopped it. But you know what? When the referee stopped it, Arguello collapsed.
Yep. It was like it was accumulation of punches, and it was at that point in time, it was like I think he probably put more on it, because the power carry, man. We can't stop talking about how it's starting to really be more impressive to me now, where it's a good competitive fight, and in a late round, we're talking about 14 rounds his power carried. Because when he hit him, that might have been, other than Arguello caught him one time before, and they was like, man, that was the hardest punch. He really cracked him. But up at that point in time, man, he stood him up. He stiffened out. Like, you could see the reaction. And I'm like, dang, for him to have all that power in the 14th round, and then it was nothing but, you know what I'm saying, like a bludgeoning, bop, 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 like you know what I'm saying, and it was over. It was over.
And you know what, I'm gonna tell you, this is what the crowd did, okay? I saw that fight on closed circuit. Back during the day, you didn't have pay-per-view or nothing like that. You had closed circuit TV, and what closed circuit was, you would enter into either a big theater, okay, like down with like the Baltimore Arena. You would go to the Baltimore Arena, and the fight would be on a big video screen, and it would be like watching a big television set, like on a movie set, and the fight would be broadcast live, and that's the way you would see fights back then. It was called closed circuit. Okay. The crowd at the time, that place was called the Civic Center. It wasn't even called the Baltimore Arena at that time. The crowd was kind of pro Arguello. Arguello was so lovable, right? And what happened in that 14th round? The crowd was kind of cheering for Arguello. When Aaron Pryor hit him, and he got hurt, and Aaron Pryor continued the way we all know Aaron Pryor finishes fights. When the referee stepped back and Arguello fell, the crowd came over a hush. But after about 10 seconds, everybody started clapping. They started clapping because they recognized the fact that Aaron Pryor had defeated their fighter, and he did it in a convincing form. It was no robbery. It was none of that. But initially there was a hush over the crowd, but then the crowd roared. Because they just say, you know what, this dude is a lot better than we thought, because everybody thought that this would be the fight that would stop Aaron Pryor, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, he what he did, he earned their respect, man. That's the truest form of actually earning the crowd respect, man. And I think that's a lesson for the young fighters, man. Like, if you get in there and you stick to your principles, it might have some ugly moments. You might get knocked down. You know, you might suffer some adversity. But if you are valiant and you stick to you stick to what you do, you can earn the crowd's respect. Everything could be, you know what I'm saying, set up for you to fail, but you can really get in there and do your job and earn the respect, and that's what Aaron Pryor did, man. So it was a classic to me. You know, I might have to go back and watch it a couple times and see it, because now I done saw it, because I do that sometimes. I go back and watch Spence and Lamont Peterson, like, you know, sometimes before big fights, because I thought that was a really good fight, man, by two good champions, man. That remind me of that. That's why I say them guys is like throwbacks like that. But yeah, that's a classic throwback, man. So
yeah, but that video that I told you that incorporates highlights on Aaron Pryor, you got to see that.
I'm gonna check it out. It's in my feed. It's in my feed, actually. I saw it. It's like, it was like the next video. It was one of the next videos when I went back and looked, that's like right there where I could just go right down and play it. So I saw it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah,
because when you look at that, and then you look at the way Aaron Pryor finished, you will just say, yeah, this guy is a terror, because he kept on doing what he was doing, but then when he fought Arguello, everybody say, oh, this is the fight, oh, this is the one, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. That dude would just had, to me, he came in the fight probably in better shape than anybody I've ever seen. Because the way he fought, he never really adjusted to anybody's style. People had to adjust to him. He pretty much fought everybody the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what's funny you say that, because the commentator was actually trying to say, I think it was around like the 4th or 5th round. I think it was one of the times when Aaron might have been taking his breather, or he might have been trying to figure something out. They were trying to say, yeah, Aaron's tired now. You know, I was like, huh? You know, I'm like watching, and I'm like, no, because we got to the 14th round, and that man never stopped punching.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know, listening to the commentary, it's good and bad, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes they be on it, but then sometimes they be like, really? You know, what fight are you watching, guy? You know, but it was a good classic, man. I didn't want to hold you though. You know, I got more homework, but this is going on my my case files for Aaron Pryor. They call him what? What's his name? The Hawk, right?
The Hawk. Yeah, he was one of the first ones they called the Hawk. Later, Julian Jackson adopted that name, you know, the Hawk. But yeah, that's what Aaron Pryor was, the Hawk.
You know something about Julian? Don't get into it, but do you know something about Julian Jackson?
Man, Julian Jackson was a knockout artist, man. He was a knockout artist.
Hey, we can't give him too much, man. Like, hey, okay, all right, man. But hey, look, enjoy your games. You know, if you later on, you know, if you get a chance, you know, you want to rap to me, just holler at me, man. I'm working. I might be tuning in. I think we got to buy because, you know, the Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan, so I hope you ready. I hope you Ravens.